And we are back, a midweek episode of the 6 Yard Line podcast, match week 26 recap, and we're going to come quick to today's show. What's up, Noel?
I don't know, man. I can't keep up. The news, the games, holy smokes. Like, can any more people be sacked in one day? We're gonna get into it, but like, I just, I just feel like all we've done is talk about being sacked, and yeah, it's a pretty wild couple of days in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the perfect segue into yesterday's debacle with Forest because, as much as I will always defend Mr. Marinakis for what he has done for Forest over the last 5 to 10 years. I think, what is it, 2017, 9 years he's been at the club. Yesterday was just a comical farce. I just don't really know what to say about it. So apparently he called players up to his box to talk to the players about Sean Dyche. And once he talked to players, and then apparently he locked the players out of the dressing room. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard today. And he relieved Sean Dyche of his duties. And I think if you look at a lot of the Forest fan base, a lot of them didn't like the appointment of Dyche. A lot of people went along with it with the understanding that you're in a firefight, you don't want to get relegated. You need some guy that's been there, done that, and done it before, which Sean Dyche does. He's obviously got connections to the club, lives next door to the club. There's a whole lot of plus in that column, so you understand it. But I think those performances, and I won't get into the Wolves game just yet, but those performances before the game that I went to in Braga, when the fans are singing, "You don't know what the F you're doing." If you haven't seen that video, I sang it quite loudly because it was a bit like that. And you kind of looked at some of those performances this year since when Dyche has been there. You look at the Villa game, you look at the Everton games, you just kind of go, what we Jekyll and Hyde, we're too Jekyll and Hyde, and it's very, very, very hard to kind of, predict what they're going to do. Now, do I think based on the performance yesterday against Wolves, he deserved to get sacked? No. And if you watch the game and if you go and look at the stats, they're pretty damning in terms of we just couldn't score. And, I tweeted during the game yesterday, the fact that we've missed Chris Wood for 18 games this year has really shown in how we are this year. Because at the end of the day, the thing that people don't really understand about Forest last year is they were the best in the league with efficiency in front of goal. And what does that mean? Essentially, it means every time we get a chance, we generally put it away 50% of the time last year, which is unbelievably unrealistic and high. But that was also the way Chris Wood was playing. It's also the way that the Forest were playing to his strengths. And that's kind of what's really kind of derailed a lot of the season. And I know everybody wants to say, well, why it's Chris Wood, but that's what he was doing last year. He was scoring goals at times when we needed a goal. And right now, we can't buy a goal. They had 35 shots yesterday. 35.
34.
And it's like, it's insane. You have 35 shots on goal and you don't score. You have, 40 odd touches inside the box. You kind of go and look at the aerial duels one, they won 23. You go and look at the corners, it was 8-2. And if, the stat that made
Dominated.
it was all over the pitch. Like, you look at just the shots on target, shots off target, the attempts on the box, the total. You look at it, it was just one-way traffic. Wolves did not look interested in that game. Wolves struggled to get the ball forward. Wolves struggled to break them down. Forest were camped in that half. And they just couldn't score. And this is the problem is you need a striker. You need to go on the... And it just didn't happen. And Sean Dyche has paid the price for it. And, right or wrong, that's that's the way it goes in football. But at the end of the day, Forest clearly had something lined up if this was going to be the way, because, Vitor Pereira, the former Wolves manager, is coming to Forest. That's will be announced officially tomorrow, from my understanding. And Vitor Pereira has a history with Marinakis, so I know there's a lot of people that will be like, well, how long is he going to survive with Marinakis? He won the double for Marinakis at Olympiacos. They know each other well. He knows his style. He knows what he wants. Pereira plays a lot more attacking. When he did start at Wolves last year, he got Wolves playing quite well, and I think Wolves scored a lot more goals under him last year, and they were a lot better towards the end of the season, and he kept Wolves up. I think the biggest question is, he got sacked this year by Wolves, but at the end of the day, as Rob Edwards is finding out at Wolves, you can't win with this team. There's just not enough quality in this Wolves team. So you don't care who's. You could have Harry Potter in charge. You ain't winning a game, because
No.
they keep selling all the best players at Wolves and then expect them to do well. So the Pereira deal, I like it. We don't know the terms. What I was told today by someone from that's connected to the club, there is, the sole thing is they still want to take a run at Marco Silva. So
I heard that too. That's
which
been reported.
makes sense. It does make sense, because that's somebody that I think Marinakis likes, and I think the way he plays is progressive and forward. I think that's the kind of manager I think Edu wants. Whether Edu stays at Forest beyond the season is another question, but I do think they want somebody. So I don't know if the Pereira deal is a short-term deal, a one-year deal, and then they move on from him depending on how the end of the season goes. And then they bring in Marco Silva, as long as it's still in the Premier League, because I don't think he's going to be interested in them if they're a championship side. So it's chaotic, and it is a little frustrating, because I think I did our YouTube short last night at 9:40. All right, I literally just was doing something else. I was in a mood because they lost, and then I was working on some stuff, and then I literally came up the stairs, and somebody messaged me and said, "Have you seen this?" And then sent me a link, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" And then I messaged you like, "Dyche's gone."
So here's the thing with that before we move on to the last game. Now, we found out late last night here in Canada, in Toronto. The UK and England, they're 5 hours ahead of us.
Yeah,
So if we're finding out after 9, that means
it was
this
done
was
after the game.
announced,
It was literally done after the game.
but it wasn't announced to the. By the time the media got it, most of the media, like it was basically all like first thing this morning kind of news. A lot of people could have went to bed before finding out last night.
Oh, a lot of people did. I can tell you that from when I woke up this morning, I had like 26 messages of people telling me that Dyche had been sacked. I did respond back to a few of them. Yeah, I know. I did post a video. You all missed it. Check your notifications. So thanks for the updates. But no, again, it was just, yeah, it's chaotic, and 4 managers in one season. I got a couple of smart asses that messaged me and said, "Oh, you're the new Watford." No, Watford had 5 managers in one season, so we're still holding on to that record. Thank you very much. They can keep that one. But yeah, he's just not. At the end of the day, I think if Nuno goes down, I think I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get Nuno back, and I think that might be an interesting point. But it's just, I'd like a quiet day, and stability would be nice.
But that's it for us. As usual, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and of course, smash a like. Helps with our algorithm and the numbers here on the YouTube. So that's it for me, Noel.
Yeah, that's it for me too.
All right, folks. Thanks
Busy with
again.
all these manager updates. That's what's the problem right now. Can we just get through tomorrow without firing somebody or hiring somebody? That would be great.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice to have a bit of a break from that. But you know what? Like I said, there are other coaches on the hot seat, but they're probably safe up until at least the next match week 27. So I think we're good for now.
Thanks for watching, guys.
All right, take care. Peace.